All right, welcome. So in this quick tutorial video, again, I'm not going to go through all of the details, but I'm going to give you the basics on how to set up the logistics of creating a Google form, being able to put it onto a Google site, and then subsequently linking those aspects together. That way, when your student begins on the first site, they seamlessly move through the directions on that page, they submit an answer to a Google form, and then after they submit their answer, there's a message that takes them and enables them to get to the next site and continue the process at a self-paced style where you're not having to step in and give them something and hand them a password or a URL. It's all student directed, and kind of the teacher can stand back and be that guide on the side throughout this process. So the first thing, all right, let's create a site. Now, I've already created one. I've simply named it Breakout Site. Right, this is going to be the directions page. So just kind of a quick tutorial off to the right hand side here. If you've never been through sites, it's really cool. They just redid it last year to make it a little bit user friendly, but you can see you can create text box, images, you can upload things, you can embed stuff, you can put dividers, you can pull things directly from your drive, YouTube, your calendar, maps, all of that cool stuff. Okay, so all of this stuff is here, and it's really user friendly, like I said. So I'll show you how to put in a form during this tutorial, but again, I really suggest going through these. And if you're trying to create a contained lesson for students to go through specific content or specific tasks, and you can't find that right web page, just create your own. It's really simple, but regardless, save that for another day. So we have the site ready. The first step in the breakout is give them directions and then give them a form to begin, right? So I've also already created a form. It's right up here. So a blank form. It's pretty simple. All I've put is directions at the top, and the directions that I typed in is the password to begin is go. Remember to type in all caps, okay? Because the first step in the process, they're not finding out anything. They're just simply beginning the breakout. So I've created a question down here, and you can see I want them to answer it in a short answer format. So the question is simply, what is the password? The password should be go. Now, I want this form to only allow students to move on to the next step and access a site link if they've answered the question correctly. That means you have to do some setup. So right down here, I've already made this question a required question, so they have to answer it. And then these three dots allows me to go into response validation. Okay, so this is kind of setting up the key, if you will, for the question. So I don't want them to answer in a number format. I want them to answer in a text format. There we go. And I want their answer to contain this text. Go. Now this custom error text is the message that will pop up if they are typing in the incorrect answer. So I'm going to have a little fun with it. I'm going to tell them and nudge them in the right direction. Oh, they're typing in the wrong thing. They should see this message. Red means stop. Green means ... go. Okay? Perfect. So the question's set up. All right. Now, the question is, how do I get this form onto this site so students can access it? It's pretty simple. So you'll notice the directions form here is titled directions. So all I'm going to do is go to my site, scroll down to where it says forms. I'm going to click on that. And there it is, the last form I made right there, directions. So I'm just going to double click that. Boom! Pastes directly onto my site. So I can get this out of the way, and I'm going to want this to be fully viewed by the students. I want them to see the entire thing all the way down to where it says, all of the school district terms of use, etc. Great, there it is. Easy as that. Okay, so the question's set up. Now, right, you may be thinking, well, they might answer the question, but then how would they get to the next step, if you will? Well, that takes us back to the form. So let's say they answer the right question. Well, how do we give them the link through this form if they answer the correct response? So we go up here to settings. We go to presentation. And right here, the confirmation message. So once they submit a correct answer, whatever we type into here will be shown to the students. So ideally, we'd like to put maybe some sort of message, congratulations, you got the first password correct. Here's the link to the next step of this breakout. Okay, but the link should be to another Google site with maybe some directions or some sort of task. That means we have to go to another site. So again, I created an entirely different Google site called Breakout Clue 1. So they've begun the process. Here is their first clue or first task or whatever you want to call it. Okay, that means I have to get this link to the site. Now the only way, and you can see this, I'm hovering my mouse up here, that I can actually get this live URL that students can able to access, I have to make it published. You can see it says can't copy link for unpublished site. It's simple. Go right here, publish it. All right, make it an actual live website that people can visit. So in this case, I don't really want anyone on the web doing this breakout, so I just want people at Northern Polar Bears. Let's publish this sucker. Sweet. Okay, so now you can see that link. I can now click on it. So let's copy the published site link. Copy it. Great. Let's go back to this question. So again, question set up. They've answered it. They've typed in go in all caps. They're ready to roll. What do I want them to see once they've submitted the correct answer? I want them to see this. Congrats on beginning this digital breakout. Below is the link to Clue 1. Good luck. There it is. Okay. Save. So, if we go back to our first Google site, the directions page, okay, it's all set up. The form is there. The form will automatically update. I don't have to repaste this in or anything like that. And we're ready to roll with at least that first step. So let's publish this one. Okay, yep, publish Northern Middle School, great. All right, and let's give this a go. Let's see if it works. Okay, so I'm on my first initial site. I'm going to preview this just to make sure that everything's working properly. So here's what it's going to look like from the student perspective. Breakout site, there would probably be way more maybe background information here. Here's the LEQ, the purpose of this lesson today, directions, the password to begin is go. We're going to type in all caps. Okay, let's do this. Let's pretend I'm an 8th grade student and I don't read, or 6th or 7th or whatever, and I didn't fully read the directions. I'm like, okay, go. That's easy. Well, submit. No, submit. No, why isn't it working? Right. So you can see that response validation blocks students. It doesn't let them go anywhere unless they actually get the right password. So then I read through directions again. Remember to type in all caps. Oh, okay. You can see that message is there too, by the way. Red means stop, green means sweet. So if you actually type in the right password, that red message will go away. So that's an indication for the students that, okay, I got it. Perfect. Let's move on. Submit. Perfect. Right, so you see here the directions. Congrats on beginning this digital breakout. Below is the link to Clue 1. Good luck. Okay, so on my computer here at home and on anything besides the Chromebooks, it seems, you can just click on this URL and it'll take you directly to the site. But for some reason, with all of the breakouts that I've done and that Mr. Clark has done, if you just directly click on that link, it kind of cleans off this page and it's dead end. I don't know why. It doesn't make much sense, but here's the workaround. Just click and hold that link, slide it up here to your tabs, release it, and there it is, Breakout Clue 1. Again, so you can see I haven't added anything to this yet, but use your imagination. This is going to be your first task that you want your students to accomplish. All right. So again, a quick overview. You start off. I'm in preview mode here, so let's get out of this. Great. You start off with Google Sites. You create your Google form with the questions and all of these settings in the response validation. Okay. Then you create your second Google site. Give all your directions on the page. You have to make it public before you can get the link. That way you can go back to your form, put that link into the form after their students submit a response. They can see it. And then you go to your initial Google site, the first page. You use these tabs onto the right hand side here. Click Forms, submit the form, publish it in there, and then it should all work. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call myself or Mr. Clark, or just stop on by. We'll help you out with anything that you might need. and have a lot of fun. I mean, this can be a really engaging and empowering lesson for the students, for yourself. And again, like we've touched on in the presentation, it is a great way to individualize lessons, to have students self-pace. Maybe it's certain tasks or certain concepts, or practice mastery because they can't get past that one step. Whatever the case may be, we really feel like this format helps out with any and all of these strategies or learning styles that we're trying to kind of push out and implement in all of our classrooms. So again, if you have any questions, or if you just want to discuss further or get into kind of the nitty-gritty here, don't hesitate to call. Don't hesitate to stop by. And thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Have fun.